So my assets are all created now and I'm done. And now I go to my code. So I'm going to go to my glitch page and I will start off with a new project. And this has been taking a bit of time. Oh, here, okay, it's loading. Okay, so here's my README. I'm gonna change this to NetArt example project. And I'll change this to my girlfriend came back from the culture wars. I'm going to go to my HTML file and I'll get rid of this glitch button and I'm going to get rid of their paragraph, and we're not going to use JavaScript yet, so I'm going to get rid of that, and I'll get rid of this JavaScript file. I'm just going to be using HTML and CSS for this project, so I don't need that. Okay, so now I just have this, hi there. And before I start getting into the styling, I am going to start off with my structure that I know that I'm going to do, that I just laid out of those iframes, those boxes on the page. So I will actually add in just a little bit of content. My girlfriend came back from the culture wars. And there was a phrase, let's see, I have this, oops. Okay, so I have this after breakfast, they left us alone. I wrote down some phrases from the original project and it changed it. It was after dinner, he left us alone, but I'm kind of changing that. So I've already prepared some of those phrases too. So my girlfriend came back from the culture wars. After breakfast, they left us alone. That is my riff on that. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pre-tag here. So I don't know if you remember when we looked at there's a video that mentioned my girlfriend came back from the, or my boyfriend came back from the culture wars, and the original artist had said it was like a poem. So I'm thinking about the way that this text is going to be laid out, and rather than do it all in CSS, because I know it's just a very few phrases, if you use the pre-text, this is going to use, it's a pre-formatted text. So similar to the way that, you know, a poem is laid out on the page intentionally. That's what the pre-formatted text is. So I could, you know, take a poem and put it right in here. And instead of just reading it all in order, how it normally does with the paragraph tag, this pre-tag lets me change different things, like hit the space bar and it will update it, whatever is in the pre-tag, to be exactly how I write it here, which is useful for things like poetic projects, because those are part of the content, is the way that it's laid out. So this is, for me, it's just easier to use the pre-tag because it's very minimal. It's going to be very minimal text, really. So that's what I'm going to just put that in here for now. And I'm going to style it later, but I'm not going to style the breaks in the words. I'm just going to use this pre-tag on all of my text on this page. Okay, so I have something here, and I'm going to now open this up in a new window. Okay, so this will be something you click on and then you go to the next page, and the next page needs to be 2 iframes. So I'm going to add a new page that is page1.html. And this is going to be a link, this paragraph, so, or this text. So I'm going to add a link to page1.html. And now it's a link. Again, I'm going to style this all later. It has these lines here because it has those page breaks as part of the pre-formatted text. And I'm going to take out this hi there. I don't need that. Okay, so you click on that and you go to page 1. And I'm going to copy this and just bring it into my page 1. Okay, but my page 1 now needs to be a page with 2 iframe boxes. So I actually need 2 more pages because this page is going to be made up of 2 HTML pages. So I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to call it page1.1.html. Actually, I'll label that better. I'll do page1.left.html because that'll be the left side. I'll be able to find that later. And I'm going to add another page, and it's going to be page1.right.html. And I'll add this file. So this is going to be my left iframe page, and this is going to be my right iframe page. And I'm going to copy this again and paste it on page 1 left and page 1 right because I need something to go in there right now. And then here, I'm going to have on page 1 an iframe. So I'm going to take this away. And it's going to be an iframe. And the href equals page 1.left.html. And I will do words, let's see. And then I'm going to do iframe page 1 right.html. So now I need to format this. So if I go to look at this, so I have these 2 iframes here that are the left and the right. I am going to, well, first I'm going to, just so you can see, I'm going to add in styling here. So I'm going to do on page 1, background color is yellow. And then let's do style equals background color red. And I'm just doing this for now so you can see. this on the left and the right, since we have all this white. Okay, so let's see. We have page 1 left. Page 1 right. Let's do the width equals okay. So why isn't this showing up? I'm missing something for oh, because this one doesn't have it. Okay. No, it's not showing up. Okay, I'm going to pause it 1 second. Okay, so now when I go here I have this page loaded here. So I had the wrong word here. So it's source for the iframe. href is for the link. It gets confusing. This is why it's good. And this is why I have W3 schools open all the time when I'm working on these things, because some people are really good at just remembering all of these things that go with the tags. But I don't remember all the details all the time. Okay, so, and that's totally normal. So the iframe tag has the source equals, and I had href. So I'm changing that now. So I have source is page 1 to the right, and then page 1 to the left. Okay, so now that should work. So now it's that right, the red background. So this is an entire web page, which is 1.1, and I can pull that up here if I go to up here, because I don't have a link to it, so I'd have to go here. So page 1.left.html, I can pull this up, and this is that whole page. So that whole page is in my iframe from my site. And okay, so now I have this. I only gave the one on the left a width, but what I want to do is have it fill this whole page. And so in order to do that, I need to style it and give it a percentage, because I want it to fill it no matter what the width is. So I'm going to give this one on the left a width of 40%. And actually, if we look at the iframe tag, so it says here, height pixels, width pixels. But down here, they have it as, you can do it also as percentages. So that's why I'm doing it as a percentage of the page. So width 40% and height equals 100%. And I have 2 sets of quotes there. So there we go. Okay. And I'm going to do, just copy and paste this. And I'm going to do 60% and with 100%. So let's see. We're going to have to add more styling. Okay, so here we go. So we have the width is 40% and the width is 60%, but the height is not 100%. And that's because I need to make my page here and my body 100%. So I'm going to go to my style now and change this to HTML, comma, body, and do height 100%. And that means 100% of the browser window. So I'm telling it that the HTML and body tag, even though there's all this empty space here, I'm working with empty space, not just the content. So I need that to fill in. So when I go here now, it should fill in all the way down to the whole browser. Even though there's empty space there, there's no content, because I'm saying, oh, whatever the browser window is, the height of it is 100%, fill that in. And then here on my page 1, I'm saying, so this iframe is going to fill 40% of the width, and then this one will be 60%. So that's 100%. But you notice this one is down here. And that's because 60 and 40 are exactly 100. But when we have these iframes, they add in a scroll bar and there's a border here. So it's a little bit more than 100%. So it's not going to fit exactly. So sometimes you have to play around. So if I do, let's see if I do 39%. Okay. And now let's go back to 40. So that's doing what I want it to do now. And it is going to this browser on the other, or below this one, the browser gets down a certain size. So I want it to stop doing that. And on this one on the right, I am going to add, I'm just adding the style in here for now because it's easier as I'm building it out. Each of these pages are going to be slightly different. So I'm going to do style is float to the right, which means that it will go to the right of the page no matter what. So now it's going to resize and always, well, I guess there's a certain limit point. I can put a minimal amount there, but it's going to float to the right until it reaches a certain point, which I can also change in the styling, which I will do later. So now it's doing more of what I want it to do. And I'm also going to go to the iframe and see if it helps if I take away the border. So border, none. Still going to give me the scrolly bar, but yeah, so now there's no border and there's this little bit of space between it. If I go back here and I change this, let's see if I can change this back to 40 now. Yeah, so now there's not that extra little bit of a border. And it's not going to matter when I put my styling in because all the background is going to be black. So here you see this colors because I want you to be able to see it. Okay, so I have my first page. This is my first page, which has 2 pages in it, left and right. So now on the left side, when you click on something, it's going to take you to page 2. And I'm going to add in page2.html. And page 2 is also going to be made up of iframes. that divide that page into half horizontally. So now I have to add in 2 more. So I'm going to do page 2 top.top.html and page 2 dot bottom.html. And now page 2 is going to also be made up of 2 iframes. So I'm going to take this and copy it and paste it here. And so if I go now to look at it and I click on this, it should give me, oh, page 2 has to connect to here we go. Oh, I didn't put it in there yet. Okay, so page 1, here we go. Page 1, to copy, I have to put this into page 2. And now page 2 on the top is going to not be these iframes. Let's do the background color pink. I will add in this text so we can see it. Okay, so page 2 top. Page 1, left, right, left, right. Okay, bottom. So the bottom and the top have to be the same. Background color pink. Okay, so let's make sure that this has the right link in here. So this on page 2 has to say page 2 top.html and page 2 dot bottom. Okay, so now it's going to do the same structure. And I go here and then I click here. And now it's giving me a repeat of what my page 1 was, but I want it to be top and bottom. So I need to change these percentages. So instead of the height 100%, I'm going to do the width 100%. And the height, I'll just divide in 50-50. And there we go. Okay, so now it's giving me a page with 2 iframes in it. And the 2 iframes are doing the whole width 100%, but then the height 50-50. So now when I click on this one, instead of going to page 1, I want to go to a new page that divides this in half lengthwise. So I have to add another page. So this goes from page 1 left connects to page 2. So page 1 right is going to connect to page 3. And I kind of mapped this out in my head a little bit more when I was looking at that Photoshop document. So if I seem like I'm jumping around fast between these page 1, page 2, it's because I had it in my mind already. Okay, so page 3, the panel on the right of page 1 is going to go to page 3. So I'm going to add a new file, page3.html. And then page 3 is going to be comprised of 2 iframe pages or iframes with 2 pages in them. So I need page 3. I'll do left HTML and a new file, page 3 right .html. Okay, so page 3 is going to be similar to page 1. And I will change the background color so you can see it. Oh, wait, let's do this one blue. And this is going to link to page 3 left and to page 3 right. So I'm going to take page 1 left and make that page 3 left. And I'll make this background color gray so you can see the difference. And I will make page 3 right, like page 1 right. And I'll make this gray. Okay, so now it should look like, I'll go to a new window. Here's my intro. Page 1, which has 2 pages inside of iframes. The left side goes to page 2, which are these 2 iframes. Now the right side should go to page 3, and now I have these 2 gray ones that are divided. So it still has this 40/60, so I have to change that. Page 3, I'm going to change that to 50/50. And again, if you are having issues with the way that this 50/50 works and you don't know if there's something making it go down, just play around with this a little bit. So you can always try something close like 48, and you might have some kind of default thing on there that is making it move over. So now I have this extra space here. Maybe I needed that for some reason, maybe I didn't, but it should all size now. And I'm going to keep it at 50/50. Okay, so this is how I'm structuring my page. It's 1 page, 2 iframes, 1 page, 2 iframes. And I have these all linked back to a separate page. So now I can just add in. So these are going to all repeat whatever these colors are. So I don't want it to all repeat the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to start continuing to build out some of these things. And I will probably change more of these so that I have the same sort of structure. I'll do page 4 with top and bottom, page 5 left and right, page 6 top and bottom, page 7 left and right, so that it sort of alternates between how it's cutting up the page. And now I've styled this so you can see the colors and see the different kinds of things that it's bringing in. But now I'll go in and I'll style it. So let's add the body as the background will be black. Oops. Oh, I have to go in now and erase all of these. Colors that I put in for you to be able to see. But we'll just do a few of them. Start off with doing these 3 pages. Okay, so now it's black. Click here. I click here. I click here. Great. let's go back. So here's where I'm going to add in my image. So that is page 1 on the right. And I have to bring in my assets. So I'm going to bring in my assets that I've prepared to my asset bucket. Now I can start to really build out the content of the site and do different things. So I'm going to bring this in and start working on styling my site. And when I am done, I will post the results. And you can look through and see what I did. I'm going to style the text, and I'm going to style the links, and I'm going to style the images so that they pull in a certain way on the different pages, depending on how big the iframe is. And you'll be able to go in and look at my CSS to see how I finished out this example.